Hello, this video is going to talk about finding the measure of interior angles of a triangle and exterior angle. So we're going to start by, taking the activity that's here, and I'm going to just play the video that goes through it. So go ahead, watch it, and then we'll come back.
Triangle and so I have right hand. So we're gonna rip off the corners of the head. And what you're gonna place them on this straight line. Yeah. Video and try yourself. So you can. So here's another.
So if you notice, when he took the triangle and he cut them up, and he put the pieces here. Sorry, I'm not the best artist. When you take all the pieces, what they create is a half circle, which is 180 degrees. What happens is all three of the angles create a straight angle, which means they add up to 180 degrees. Which means if you did this with any and every triangle, it would always happen. So we say the sum of the measures of three angles, right, will always be 180 degrees. So the sum of the three angles of a triangle are 180 degrees. If we know that, we can use this idea that all three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if we use our conclusion from here, what can we do to find angle C here? Well, I know they all add up to 180. I'm just going to take 180, subtract 85, subtract 43. And what does that give me? It tells me that this angle would be 52 degrees. So what do all three angles in a triangle add up to? We say the interior angle sum of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So if I were to take angle E and add angle D and add angle F, they would all add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to use this theorem, right, to basically answer some questions here. So how do we find the measure of angle F in example 1? Well, again, looking for F, I know I'm basically saying 180 minus 111 minus the 37 will give me 180 minus 111 minus 37 is 32 degrees. What do all three angles in a triangle add up to? 180 degrees. So the next one, if I'm looking for angle J, and I know these two angles. Now, I'll approach this a little differently and say what some people will do is they will add these angles up. They'll do 50 plus 47 and get 97. And then they'll just do 180 minus 97 and get 83 degrees. Either way is perfectly fine. Okay, so let's look at the next example. Once we put multiple triangles here, if you notice here, you have one triangle here and you have another triangle here. So what I can do is I can use the yellow triangle to find x. So if I take 42 and 90, right, that would give me 132. So 90 plus 42 is 132. So 180 minus 132 would tell me that that's 48 degrees. Now, if this is 48 degrees, these are vertical angles, so I know they're congruent. So this is 48. So to find y, I would do 100 plus 48 is 148. And now 180 minus 148, what does that give you? 32 degrees. Okay? So now when we have algebra involved, what do? Well, we know that if I look at these three angles, they're all the angles of a triangle. So if I add them up, what do they have to add up to? 180. So I'm just going to say x plus 2x plus 2x plus 15 equals 180. Now I can go ahead and solve for x. So I combine like terms. 1x plus 2x is 3x, plus 2x is 5x, plus 15 equals 180. Subtract 15, 5x equals 165. 165 divided by 5 would give me 33. Now the next example, they're asking you to find x and the measures of these two angles. Well, to find x, it's pretty easy because I know this angle, and this angle are all angles in a triangle. So if I go ahead and add them all up, I would get 3x plus 4 plus 6x minus 12 plus 80 equals 180. Now, 3x plus 6x gives me 9x. And I know 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Plus 80 is going to give me plus 72 equals 180. Okay, so now to solve this, I would subtract 72. 9x equals 108. Then I would go ahead and divide by 9 and get x is equal to 12. Now, once I know x is equal to 12, what I'm going to do is take that value and plug it in over here. 3 times 12 plus 4 will give me 36 plus 4, which is 40 degrees. Now to find c, I can either plug x in, 6 times 12 minus 12 will give me 72 minus 12, which is 60. Or, once I know this angle is 40, I could do 80 plus 40 is 120. All three angles have to add up to 180. 180 minus 120 will give me 60, which is the same measure I get when I plug x in. Okay? So now, here's the thing. If we take a triangle, right, and I take a side and I extend it a little further, like we see here, what we get here is an exterior angle. Now, if this is my exterior angle, the two interior angles that do not touch it are called remote interior angles. Okay, so knowing what they are is key to start with. But what they want you to do is use the two remote interior angles to find the exterior angle here. Well, I know if I wanted to, I could use this triangle to find that angle with the double arc. And I would do that by taking 100 plus 35 is 135. And now if I do 180 minus 135, I get 45, right? Now, that tells me this angle is 45 degrees. Well, what do these two angles have to add up to? 180. So 180 minus 45 would give me 135. So this angle here is 135. Now let's try the other one. If I take this triangle and I look for this angle here, right? That would be 140 plus 20 is 160. Now 180 minus 160 is 20. So that angle is 20 degrees. Well, what do these two angles have to add up to? They have to add up to 180. So 180 minus 20 would give me 160. Now what they want you to notice here right away is if I look at this angle here, that's 135. If I add those two angles up, what do I get? 135. So here, the exterior angle was equal to, right, 135. The sum of those two angles. If I look here, my exterior angle is 160. Does that equal 140 plus 20? It sure does. So what we see here is we see that the exterior angle of a triangle theorem is basically the exterior angle equals the remote interior plus the remote interior. So now, it says here to find the measure of angle C. There's two ways people can go about it. The fast way is to know that that exterior angle is equal to, if I look, my two remote interior angles are C and D, so it would be angle C plus 140. Well, if my exterior angle is 160, right, if I were to subtract 140, I would get C is 20 degrees. Okay, that's using the exterior angles theorem, right? The other way to do it is if I saw that these two angles add up to 180, 180 minus 160 is 20. Now all three angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 180 minus 140 minus 20 will give you 20 degrees. Either way you approach that problem, you get the same exact answer. So example 2, you can go the long way by using and finding all the angles, or no, this is my exterior angle. So 100 should equal C plus D. So 62 plus D. What do I do to solve for D? Subtract 62, and I get D is equal to 38 degrees. Now, the reason it's important to know this theorem is because when I look at angles, for example 3, I cannot use that exterior angle to find that. Now, I can use these two angles to find that, but I need to find x, right? So if this is my exterior angle, 10x plus 10 is equal to sum of my two remote interiors, which would be 50 plus 30. So now all I have to do is take this equation and solve for x. So divide by 10, and x is equal to 7. And the next one, here's my exterior angle equals the sum of the two remote. So I would do 6x. Now 11 plus 39 is going to give you plus 50. Now to solve this, I like to subtract 6x, line it up under 11x, add 10, line it up under 50. 5x equals 50 plus 10 is 60. Divide by 5, x is equal to 12. Now, when you get to example 5, there's no x here, so we're going to put x right there. Okay, now to find that value of x. Okay, what we're going to do is find all of these missing angles and just keep going. The easiest one to start with is if this is 60 degrees, that's vertical, so that's 60 degrees. Now, to find this angle, these two angles have to add up to 180. So, 180 minus 92 will give me 88 degrees. If I do 180 minus 123, that'll give me this angle. That'll be 57 degrees. Now, this triangle adds up to 180. 180 minus 57 minus 88 will give you 35. And I'm going to run out of time here.